Okay, I decided to go ahead and hit the live button. What can go wrong? Hi Mia, how are you? Um, Promise is not here yet because I'm having technical difficulty. But we can talk to each other in the meantime. Okay, we can't let nobody stop the show, right? I'm sure we all in agreement with that. And Promise, hey Promise. I don't know what happened, but I started the live and I'm like, you will be here. You are here, but you're over there and you'll be here shortly. All right.
Hello, Margaret.
Hi, Promise. How are you?
Great. I'm sorry. I just realized I had to update my Substack app because I couldn't see your invitation with my the old version.
No problem. No problem. The point is that you're here. We are here. Okay. Yeah. Right. And it's good to see you. I wanted to tell you that I am no longer radioactive. Okay.
You never was. You never was.
I was. I could be honest. I was going through all that stuff with the job, and you were there, and some of that stuff came off on you, and I really want to apologize to you.
No.
Really, I do, because you are really a wonderful person, and I was going through a lot. Okay, and when you were talking to me about my eating, I had a problem with that because that's the only thing I had control over, what I was eating. And you're like, no, you cannot eat that. You can everything I wanted to eat, you said I couldn't eat it. So I well, I have to end our conversation, our relationship right now, because I'm gonna eat this Haagen-Dazs ice cream because I don't have no control over nothing else. And it wasn't nothing personal, okay? And
Do you want to give context for your audience?
Yeah, that's why I'm talking about it now. Promise and I was working together, right? I hired Promise as my coach, okay? And I hired him at the time that I was going through so much troubles at work. I couldn't eat, really. I couldn't sleep. The job was really killing me, okay? Now I could, work with you better now, okay? And everything I was going through at that time, only thing I had was Haagen-Dazs ice cream or KFC or, McDonald's. And that was comfort. It was comfort food. It gave me comfort. Only temporary, And then I have accountability. I have to send you a picture of what I eat. I'm like, I'm going to send him a picture of this Kentucky Fried Chicken. He's going to have a problem with it. And me and you going to be at odds. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to send you this picture, but you're not going to like it. That's the first thing I said. I like, forget it. I'm going to eat this Kentucky Fried Chicken and let the chips fall where they may after that. Okay? I felt bad, but I'm like, look, I have to end our coaching conversation relationship right now because I'm going to eat whatever I want whenever I want it. Then you tell me, well, you can't eat after 10 o'clock. Okay, now that was another problem, okay? Since I can't sleep at night, what else is there to do but to eat? Okay? So now, okay, you're taking everything from me, okay? The federal government took everything, okay? Now you're telling me I can't eat this and I can't eat at a certain time of night. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. We have to end our relationship right now. Maybe down the road we can, we can come back together. But right now, this is not good, because I really hated you at that point in time. I really did. I hated you. I'm like, here he comes. Where's the picture? I was like, well, I'll just tell him I forgot to send the picture. I tried that. Okay. He's like, no, where's the picture? I'm like, oh, you called me out in every way. And I'm like, okay, I know that didn't come for that, but I'm just try to explain to people when you're at a certain place in your life and you want to do whatever it is you want to do and you don't want any interference from anybody to tell you, oh, well, don't drink that bottle of liquor or beer. You don't want to hear that. You want to hear that. You know what I'm saying?
That's the current tension, and like as a coach, so we know from both personal experience, but also from scientific studies, like what's better for us as humans. And so we want to accept people where they are, but also encourage them and empower them to make steps in the right direction. And so there's a back and forth going, like, when I ask you what steps would feel best for you. But then there's also the accountability. It's true. Like, so, and you also share with me, I hope it's okay to share here in front of your audience.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
That you also triggered some past memories with your dad, asking you to eat your veggies and stuff, which I can understand.
Yeah, let me talk about that because my father, he was, like I said, he was very abusive. He was a narcissist. He was into control. I think he was sadistic. I think he got off on it. Really, I do, because he did it too much and too often. Okay, he would say, "You're going to eat these vegetables. I don't care if you have to sit at this table all night long." Okay. So, when his head turned, I would give it to the dog. I was not going to eat it, period. It is what it is. So you find a way, you find a workaround.
Yeah.
Even as a kid, because he going to have to turn his head. He going to have to go to the bathroom, something. Okay. When he do, that's when I'm going to make my move. So when you told me I had to eat vegetables, it just brought me back to my childhood. And I'm like, no, I'm not eating that, period. If I didn't eat it then, I'm not going to eat it now, period. Okay. So you say, well, what vegetables do you like? There's not many. You know what I'm saying? It's not many at all. So it's still the same way, but it's you have to train your mind differently. And everything that I was going through at that time, it's like a camel. If you keep putting stuff on top of the camel's back, eventually the camel's back is just going to, you know what I'm saying? And I was at a point, I just couldn't take no more. And I don't understand if you realize that, but I was at my lowest point. And mentally, I just could not take no more. Okay? Yeah. I just couldn't. No, so I wanted to address that before we started talking, because it's about making amends for our actions. I didn't feel good about how I treated you. And I want you to know that. Hurt people. And I didn't do it intentionally. I didn't. And I was really broken up about that because we had established this relationship. And it means a lot to me. And I want you to know that. Okay? Yeah. All right. So now this what we're talking about is part of utilizing Buddhist teachings to build mental strength. Am I correct?
The mindful communication between us, like right now?
Yeah, what I was talking about.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, being able to talk about things that happen, how we feel, celebrating what makes us feel good in a relationship, making amends when we mess up, which we all do, and making wishes to improve the dynamics and the happiness for both sides. That's definitely part of the mindful communication skill set.
Awesome. Now, talk to us a little bit more about your journey and what brought you to Substack.
Yes, so thank you, Margaret, for having me.
It's my honor.
And hi, everyone. So I go by Promise. On my Substack, Promise is the name that my teacher, Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh, gave me when I became a Buddhist monk. Brother Promise at the time, and then when I came back to lay life a year ago, people kept calling me Promise. So you can call me Promise, or you can call me Paul, which is my civil name. Either is fine. Was born and raised in Paris suburb, and as a teenager, I had a mental health crisis, psychosis, pretty bad, and I went to psychiatrist. and asked him a very simple question in his field of expertise, which was, how can I take care of my mental health on a daily basis? And believe it or not, he did not have any answer. He couldn't tell me like what I was doing wrong, what I could be doing better on a day-to-day basis to improve my mental health. Just pills and come back some more. And I also saw 2 psychotherapists, and they just dribbled, I don't know what, on their notebook. And they looked concerned. I tried to empathize, but at no point did I feel empowered. At no point did I feel educated about stuff I could do myself to get better. So, of course, I'm not saying this to discourage anyone to receive professional help. There are many psychotherapists, many psychiatrists doing amazing work out there. It's just not my experience. So I was pushed forward by life, in times of crisis. Sometimes the life has a way to push you forward. And I made a promise to myself, actually, and which came the center of my life mission, and which was, if I was to find effective self-care practices, I would share with the world. So I was 17. To be honest, I did not know if I would survive or not, because pretty much every day I was thinking about, committing suicide. But luckily, I did find many things that help. I started with martial arts. I found a great teacher. So just getting to movement, getting some of the violence out. There was also a bit of violence and abuse in my family. And so, which was, I think, part of the psychosis. Not the only part, but definitely part of it. And being able to move my body, get the energy going, stimulate violence in a very safe environment of the dojo, the martial arts club, was very healing for me. It helped me build my confidence. And then I stumbled upon the mindfulness teachings of Thich Nhat Hanh, who was Vietnamese Buddhist monk, very popular. In the West, the Time magazine called him the father of mindfulness. He's a teacher of Jon Kabat-Zinn and many other web teachers in the West. And at age 19, I decided to become a Buddhist monk. And I lived as a Buddhist monk until age 35 a year ago. And in those 16 years, I kept going with the promise I made to myself. I kept looking for simple and effective self-care practices for mental health, and also quickly for physical health, because I realized how those two are really intertwined. If I eat I just talk about myself. I know that if I eat sugar or fried food, I will get those spikes in mood. I'll feel heavy. My brain is more inflamed. It's harder to think clear. Also, if on a day I don't move enough, I don't go out in nature, I don't sleep enough. So all of those self-care practices that are traditionally more linked to physical health, they actually do have a huge impact on mental health. And so those were the two things really together. I learned not just from Buddhism, but also from lifestyle medicine, which is a wonderful field of medicine. We could go more into details about it if you want.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, from Ayurveda, neuroscience, modern psychology. I've experimented with over 100 self-care healing modalities. And I put the best of what I learned into a simple program, which is called the Daily Wellness Empowerment Program. This program aims to empower you with wellness practices that are do-it-yourself, simple, free, backed up by science, and holistically effective. So this is the stuff that we should all have learned at school. This is what I wished I had learned at school. And unfortunately, that's not exactly where the financial incentive is in our society. We know that Big Pharma makes money when people are both sick and dependent. They're sick for a long time, they're dependent on the doctors and dependent on the meds, and they keep coming back. That's where they make money. This is not conspiracy theory. This is basic mathematics. That's not, and so what the current economic, financial system rewards is not what we most want as human beings. We want to be well. We want to be healthy. We want to be happy. We want to be strong. We want to live long. We want to have a clear mind for our projects. We want to have an open heart for our loved ones. And so how do we do that concretely? And so in this Daily Wellness Empowerment Program, I invite students to spend just a few minutes every morning sitting in meditation, just a few minutes, getting some movement going. And so it's my role this is what I'm obsessed with, is what gives the best wellness return on time investment. So I have like this Buddhist this Buddhist background, but people are often surprised because I also have a very engineer-like or even entrepreneurial mindset. But I'm really obsessed with that. What's the best wellness return on time investment? And so just with a short morning routine like this, taking in meditation, following your breath, with a gentle smile on your face, opening your awareness to everything in the present moment, letting go of expectations, letting go of ideas, allowing the energy to flow freely in your body can really invite your nervous system in the right space, in what I like to describe as a state of fulfillment, freedom, and flow. This is all possible with meditation, which is attention training. Not just what we pay attention to, but also how we pay attention to. So we know, for instance, that our default form of attention is very contracted. That's part of our orientation mode. Oh, this is, that guy over there walking. That is this. That is that. So this orientation mode is also part of our survival mode. That's why when we witness to some aggression in the street or something like that, we go tunnel vision. Tunnel vision. So we can only see one small point, right? That's part of our survival mode. We all craft focus. We tense up to react quickly. And while it's wonderful to have this survival mode, this stress response, as it's called, we don't want to live in that, because that's very damaging stress when it gets chronic. And so to train our attention to open up, there's a wonderful neurofeedback researcher in the US who passed away recently. His name was Dr. Les Penney. And he observed that in that default contracted form of attention, different parts of the brain gets very dysregulated. And in that open form of attention, different brain regions get synchronized. So we let go of beta wave activity and we open up to more alpha wave activity with more relaxation, synchronicity, clarity, more healing, regeneration. So that's spirituality. The spirituality also is not reduced to biology, but it has very clear, very strong neurobiological correlates. And so I tell this to all our friends, whether you're Christian or Jewish or Muslim or atheist, whatever, we all have this human body. And there are ways we can train our attention to get closer to a more sacred way of being in the world, with a more open mind and heart, with more fulfillment, freedom, and flow. All of these are trainable skills. So with this short morning routine, getting a bit of meditation, getting a bit of movement, we tune our whole body and mind up for the day. It's like a musician, before she starts playing, she tunes her instrument. And before we start engaging with life, we want to tune our body and mind. That's the aim of our short morning routine. And then in this daily wellness empowerment program, I give general guidelines. It doesn't have general suggestions. Nobody is perfect. It's not about being perfect. It's about making progress. And so those guidelines are consuming a more whole food, plant-based diet, which has been shown in epidemiological studies, which are studies on populations, but also interventional studies. When we take a group, we give them this kind of diet, and then we see their biomarkers, how their bodies react. That it can not only prevent and help us manage most of our chronic diseases today, but also reverse those. So really, junk food is what kills most people today in the world. And it's also the biggest leverage we have in terms of it's not the only one, but it's definitely one of the biggest. So a more whole food plant-based diet is not about being vegan. It's not about being perfect. Again, it's just about inviting more whole grains, legumes, fruits, and vegetables in our life. Next, avoiding intoxicants like alcohol, drugs, and just finding better ways to meet our emotional needs. We all have emotional needs. We're not stupid. If we reach out to cigarettes or alcohol or whatever, it's because we have because those things are helping us. But now, how can we still help us and even help us better, more effectively, in a way that's sustainable, in a way that's healthy, in a way that's free, and in a way that's legal also. Less stress. All right. Next, we have some nature exposure. We all love nature. Margaret, I don't think it's a big secret. You post pictures of your dogs and you're walking with your beautiful dogs. Getting more nature in our life is super helpful for physical and mental health, and also for social wellness. When you go out, there's studies, for instance, on people who own dogs. They're more likely to be stopped by the neighbors and talk with the neighbors. They're like, oh, what a beautiful dog you have. We also get the oxytocin just with the health and the affection. This is extremely important, which leads us to our next guideline, which are meaningful human connections. Being in touch with people. Of course, online is good, but in person, when possible, is even better. You get a feel for the energy. There are some things, we're not just matter, we're also energy, we're also information. And us being in the same room as a loved one, us making an effort to go to a social event, to meet with people, is also a beautiful message. Look, I care. I want to be here for you. I'm interested. How are you doing today? We've lost that quite a bit, and it's important we make a conscious effort to get our meaningful human connections daily. Then we have mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of opening up our attention to the present moment as it is, not just as we'd like it to be. That's a bit of the sickness of the mind, these compulsive intentions to control everything all the time. And let's be honest, it's not working that well. It's not because we say, it shouldn't be like this, that it's going to stop being like this. So why don't we give ourselves a break from now and then and just open up to life as it is. Let God do his work. Let's be humble. Let's open up. Let's experience less contraction and control and more openness and fulfillment. We can do that. That's mindfulness. And also, very important thing during the day, how are we using our devices? What are we feeding our mind with? A lot of fear, a lot of jealousy, competition, agitation? Or are we able to also nurture our natural capacities for contentment, compassion, and clarity? That's the mental nourishment part of the daily wellness empowerment program. So again, short morning routine with a bit of meditation and movement, general guidelines during the day, whole food plant-based diet, no intoxicants, nature, meaningful human connections, mental nourishment, and mindfulness. That's 6. And at night, a short evening routine with some arm swinging. This is a very relaxing, regenerating, meditative movement that helps loosen up tensions that we have accumulated during the day, regulate our nervous system, promote free flow of energy, and wind down before bed. And then we try to go to bed not too late. We know that sleep is crucial. Fun fact, with the daylight savings, which everybody hates, people, so on days where we lose 1 hour of sleep, there is an explosion in heart attacks and car accidents. And on days where we gain sleep, there's less of those. So even just 1 hour of sleep, we don't realize we most of the time we like a bit like inebriated people, drunk people. No, I'm not drunk. We don't realize. We think we're 100% when we're sleep deprived, but we're not. It affects our immune system. It affects our cognitive functions, and of course, it affects our mood. So sleep is very important. So here we go. Those are the 10 WEP practices. WEP is again daily wellness and empowerment program. Just a short morning routine. Also, you don't have to do the whole thing. Just start wherever feels right for you. It's not about perfection. I'm not perfect. It's just about making one step in the right direction every day. When we fall, which we all do, then we stand back up and we take our wellness seriously. And so this way, with this program, we're still free to live the way we want to live. And at the same time, we are empowered with an understanding of the predictable consequences of our actions on our well-being. So what this program predicts is that if you do the exact opposite, so if you have no way of training your attention, you let your attention rumble to the past, to the future, imagination, projection, prejudice, the whole shit show. Forgive my French. I'm French. Forgive my French.
No, it's okay.
The whole thing. If we don't move, if we live in a very polluted environment, if we don't see people or the connections we have, they are very superficial, they're not safe, or if we don't sleep enough, if we watch junk online, if we eat lots of animal food, lots of processed food, all of those things separately, they will increase our chances of feeling bad. And if we do the opposite, so again, meditation, movement, nature, more whole plant foods, more meaningful human connections, wiser, internet use, having some regenerative movement, having deep regular sleep, all of those things will increase our wellness. So that's why I built an app. It's free, and you can set your own goal. You can track what you're doing, and so you can have the whole thing on your phone wherever you go. And that's my life. So I'm now empowering other people to take care of themselves, so they can feel better, they can be at their best for their family, for their projects.
Thomas, this is really great. I do have a few questions for you. Which are these reversible diseases that you're referring to? I know diabetes is one, type 2 diabetes.
Yeah, thank you. So lifestyle, if you Google lifestyle medicine, you can see that they did studies on high blood pressure, on type 2 diabetes, on depression, on various forms of cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer. Heart disease was the main one. Heart disease, actually, the founder of lifestyle medicine, Dr. Dean Ornish, is a cardiologist. And the last study they did was on neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's disease. Actually,
Okay, great.
There's a whole book from a wonderful doctor and nutritionist called Dr. Michael Greger, named How Not to Die. And he goes through the top causes of death in the US, and he shows you how a more whole food plant-based diet can help us, again, not only prevent and manage, but also in many cases reverse those top killers.
Awesome. Now, one of the things that we talked about when we were working together is the 80-20 principle. Okay, because nothing is going to be 100%. I'm just keeping it real with you. Okay. And so if we're that regimented, like when at my childhood, for example, religion, it was so rigid, didn't give you no play at all. It was either 100% or nothing. And it's not sustainable. I'm just, in my opinion, going through diets my entire life. My weight has been, up and down, up and down. Part of that too could be associated with thyroid. Okay. So talk to me about this 80-20 principle and your beliefs on what your thoughts is on it.
Awesome. So very important point. Thank you for bringing it up, Margaret. Our wellness strategies should not become a new source of threat. And it should come from a place of love for ourselves also. Not, I hate my body, I need to lose weight. I hate my this, I need to do that. That's part of the whole mental garbage. We can do a lot from a place of love, feeling worthy of self-care, and taking it one step at a time, as a wonderful mother would take her child by the hand, one step at a time. So not just the aims we have should be wellness promoting, but the way we go about those steps should be healthful, should be healthy. So self-talk is an important part of it. I love myself. When coming back to my story, not because it's unique or special, but just as a way to connect, with more with you and your audience. So again, I went to the psychosis, and then I went to the Buddhist monastery, find solutions, and one of the practices I had was to talk to myself kindly, because a huge part of the psychosis was the compulsive thoughts of self-hate. And so I would generate I learned to not fight with the quote unquote bad thoughts, but instead just generate loving thoughts. Like, I love myself, I accept myself, I know it's hard, we're going to do this one step at a time. Or, I'm sorry, I did not, I escaped into something, some distraction because I didn't want to feel what I was feeling. Now I'm back, and I love you. You deserve to feel good. You deserve to take care of yourself. Let's go about it one step at a time. For some people, when they are in a stage of their life where they have relative stability, this might feel a bit cheesy and not relevant. But when it's literally you don't know if you're gonna make if you're gonna make it, you're a huge mess. Like, this kind of basic self-talk is so important. They even teach it at the army. I looked at how they deal with extreme situations in the American army, like the Navy SEALs and stuff. And so they had the breathing techniques, actually, like in Buddhism. They had visualization, but they also have the self-talk. And the self-talk had a lot to do with feeling capable, like, okay, I trained for this, or I can do this. And also, I had a lot to do with what's the next step, just one step at a time. Just do the right step and then the right step, and just stay on. Because if you let in very difficult situations, if you let our mind go haywire, we won't be functional anymore. So there are extreme stages in our life where it's very important, this kind self-talk and coaching ourselves to the next step and the next step.
You are so right, because it just brought me back to my childhood when my mother and father both ridiculed me constantly. Nothing was ever good enough. They were never happy with nothing. And so that always kept me in despair and kept me in a depressed state of mind. And really, looking back, I was really a negative person because of that. But because I worked with the Army, okay, I know I couldn't be that way throughout my life, because no one would want to be around me, first of all, and I couldn't have kept that job, okay? So I had to positive self-talk myself through that career. Yeah. Every time I got negative, I came back and said, nope.
Yeah.
I had to keep changing the story, flipping the script, reframing constantly. Because these voices from the past keep coming back to the future and telling me you're not good enough. So that's what you have to do, baby steps.
Exactly.
And that's where I am today.
Awesome.
Yes. The other question I had, didn't you mention about the water, consumption of water? Because we look at the earth, how much water is sustained on the earth? I don't know, 75%? No, not maybe 70. Maybe 60% of the earth, the world is water.
But I think it's something like this, 70, 80%, I don't know.
Okay. But we need to also keep in mind that I don't even drink enough water. We need to drink enough water daily to have all these toxins, to remove all these toxins out of our system, for our system to function properly, like our kidneys and everything else. The body is the temple. We should treat it as such.
Yes. But the best is still to minimize ingestion of toxins in the first place, so we have less to flush out. Also, it seems that when we eat less salt, we also have less need for water. the last thing is that plant foods, so fruits and vegetables, have a lot of water already in themselves, are very water-rich foods, and it's a very special type of water called easy water. I'm not an expert, but I have a friend who's a researcher in water, not just for the environment but for health, and she told me that the water naturally found in fruits and vegetables is the healthiest for human consumption. And also when we cook whole grains and legumes, we also get a lot of water through that. So if we eat a more whole food plant-based diet, and we minimize our salt consumption, we won't have to drink, gallons of waters as many influencers recommend.
Let's see if anybody has any questions. I know we talked about perhaps you wanted to do a meditation before we ended today. Is that still okay? Cool. Does anybody have any questions for Promise? Unpolished said life choices are certain hours, and how we age will depend on these choices. Yeah, I can tell you that because when I was young, I thought I could do everything, okay? And then when my body said, "Oh, sit yourself down somewhere. You can't do all that no more." Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if I had made better choices when I was younger, I could have probably been in better physical condition today. But nevertheless, it's never too late. We can start today. Isn't that right, Promise?
It's totally correct. And many of those studies conducted in the field of lifestyle medicine has been with cohorts of people with a median age of like 50 or 60 or 70. And they found that the people with the best improvements were not necessarily the younger people, but those who were the most committed to those changes. So eating more whole plant foods, moving more, loving more, stressing less.
All of the things that are part of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Okay? Starting with our basic needs. We take care of those first, and then we can take care of the other ones as well.
And many of those things we already know. We already know what's good for us, but we're not so clear also what's most important. And we also don't have like a big picture, And for instance, when I was at the monastery, it kind of, they made it seem a bit like if you just meditate or be mindful, everything's gonna be fine. And then you go to some people who do breath work or exercise or whatever, that will tell you, okay, just do more breath work or more exercise. And so it seems to me that overall we live in a very over-specialized world, very over-specialized society, and we get pieces of the puzzle, but we rarely get comprehensive. We rarely get the big picture of the puzzle, and so that's what I'm trying to offer with this daily wellness and empowerment program. Do you guys want to do a bit of meditation?
Yes, please. I didn't see that anyone had any questions, so yes, why not?
Okay, awesome. So let's sit with our back quite straight. Whole body relaxed. Mouth closed. With a very gentle smile on our lips. A very gentle smile on our eyes. very gentle smiles that we will keep throughout the meditation. And throughout the meditation, we will also maintain a mind that is open and light. Open to everything in the present moment. All the sounds, all the sensations, as they are. And light because we've let go of expectations. We've let go of ideas. Mind open and light. And with these gentle smiles, with this mind open and light, we will generate a pleasant feeling in our mind. This could be a feeling of fulfillment, of gratitude, of joy, of kindness, of safety, of tenderness. Trust this pleasant feeling. Let it be. Appreciate it without attachment. And give it all the space it needs to grow. Gentle smiles, mind open and light. And pleasant feeling in the mind. And with all that, we can notice what's happening in our body. All of the sensations. The tingling, the pulsations, the vibrations, the waves of energy running through our body. We allow for free flow of energy in our body. The free flow of energy in our body nourishes the pleasant feeling in our mind. And the pleasant feeling in our mind allows for free flow of energy in our body. Whole body relaxed, gentle smiles on our lips and eyes, mind open and light. pleasant feeling in the mind. Free flow of energy in the body. Can open our eye. So this is meditation. It's the training of our attention that allows us to experience a bit more fulfillment, a bit more freedom, and a bit more flow.
Thomas, thank you so much. I am so glad to see you today. This was very powerful. And anybody that's interested working with Promise, I would highly recommend it. And what's the name of your publication again? Promise?
Mental Health Revolution. So if you go on mentalhealthrevolution.org or you search Mental Health Revolution on Substack, you'll find me. Or I guess people could click on my name now. Mental Health Revolution.
I highly recommend Promise for you guys to subscribe to his publication. I've worked with him, and if he and I can work together, I'm sure that you guys shouldn't be a problem, okay?
I love you, Margaret. I love you.
I love you too. I love you too. Thank you so much, Promise.
Yes. Thanks so much for having me. Thanks everyone for joining.
Thank you. Thank you all. Take care. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. I don't know what happened. Technology.